So you've got silver. You need to know how to measure it. Seriously, this isn't just some neat trick, it's your #1 defense against fakes. Let's get right into it and make sure your collection is the real deal.
You know, this is the question every single collector should be asking themselves. How can you be 100% sure that every piece in your stack is a genuine asset and not some worthless imposter? Well, it turns out the biggest clue is also the easiest one to find.
And it all starts with weight. Yeah, that's right. Before you get into any fancy testing, gravity is your best friend. See, a real piece of silver has a very, very specific weight, and that's something counterfeiters almost never get right. Why? Because the cheap metals they use, we're talking copper, zinc, stuff like that, they just don't have the same density as pure silver. So to get the size right, they have to give up on the weight.
Which brings us to our first big idea, the weight of trust. Because that's really what this is all about, isn't it? The weight of a coin or a bar is tied directly to its value, to its authenticity. It's the physical proof that you have what you paid for.
And boom, this slide just lays it all out perfectly. Look at the left. A genuine 1-ounce American silver eagle has to weigh exactly 31.103 grams. Now look at the right. A lot of the fakes out there, made from those cheaper metals, are noticeably lighter. They come in around 28 grams. That 3-gram difference might not sound like much, but in this world, it is a massive, massive red flag.
So, the big question is, how do you actually spot that critical difference? Well, it all comes down to having the right equipment. Let's talk about gearing up for precision.
All right, first things first, your absolute most important tool is a digital scale. And not just any scale, you need one that measures to at least 2 decimal places, so 0.01 grams of precision. Your kitchen scale for baking? Nope, not going to cut it here. You'll also need a calibration weight to make sure your scale is telling the truth, and of course, a soft cloth so you don't scratch your beautiful silver.
Okay, hold on. Before we even touch that scale, we've got to talk units. Because in the world of precious metals, we don't use the regular ounce you're thinking of. We use the troy ounce. And the one number you need to burn into your brain is this. 1 troy ounce is 31.103 grams. Seriously, remember that number. It's the key to this whole thing.
Okay, we've got the gear, we know the magic number. Now it's time for the main event, the weigh-in. Let's walk through this step by step so you can't mess it up.
Getting a perfect reading is actually super easy if you just follow these 4 steps. First, you always calibrate your scale before you start. It just makes sure it's perfectly accurate. Second, hit that tare or 0 button to clear it out. Third, you gently place your silver right smack in the middle of the scale. And finally, step 4, you read the result. That's it. That's your moment of truth.
But you know, getting the number is only half the job. Now we've got to figure out what it's actually telling us. What does that little number on the screen really mean for your investment?
This is your target. For any standard 1 troy ounce piece of silver, you want to see a number that is as close to 31.103 grams as you can possibly get. Now, a tiny, tiny difference, like 0.01 or 0.02 grams, that can be okay. It could be from a little bit of wear or just tiny manufacturing differences. But if you're seeing a number like 30.5 or down in the 29s, whoa, that's when you know something is wrong and you need to look a lot closer.
And just to show you how powerful that one number is, check this out. We're looking at 3 of the most popular silver coins in the entire world. You've got the American Eagle, the Canadian Maple Leaf, and the Austrian Philharmonic. And what do they all have in common? They all share that exact same standard weight, 31.103 grams. This means that this one simple test can help you check almost any standard 1-ounce coin you have.
So, let's say you've weighed your silver and it hits the mark. It's 31.103 on the dot. That's awesome. It's a fantastic sign that you've got the real thing. But here's the thing. The weight test is just the first test. It's great at weeding out the clumsy, obvious fakes, but the really sophisticated forgeries, they might get the weight right. So the real question becomes, what's next? What other simple tests can you do to be absolutely certain your investment is safe? Now that's the next level of protection every serious collector needs to know.